the number one task for entrepreneurs in China is that they have to schmooze Communist Party officials so that they can get a loan. And then I had this guy from Breitbart respond, well, American entrepreneurs, they have to spend most of their time schmoozing, wokesters to be able to get a loan. It's nonsense. You don't have to spend a majority of your time schmoozing wokesters to get a loan in the United States of America. But people are so dedicated to this despair narrative that they seize on the most bogus of reasons. They embrace it. I don't know why people just, want to embrace despair, but it's incredibly widespread. I mean, you see it, Rod Dreher, an American conservative, it's just, rampant. John Derbyshire, we're doomed. Most things are getting steadily better in the world today. There are some things that are getting worse, but most things are getting better. Pass.
I think it depends on how you define worse or better. I think in the U.S. the problem is the future. I think that there is going to be a critical mass of people here who support ideas that make it very hard to earn a living, who support ideas that make it very hard to foster innovation. And I think that other countries will capitalize off of that as time goes on. You mentioned that what you mentioned right now is correct about China in relation to Turkey, let alone the U.S. But I think that the U.S. worker will be far less productive as new people enter the workforce. I think that there are going to be many more people who have issues which prevent them from working well. Go, it's going to be worse because whites will be the minority. If you look at how a lot of whites function today in American politics, what you find is that they're at the vanguard of very very bad socio-political developments. So even if you live in a majority white area, most of the people have no respect for individual rights and liberties. That they hate you on a cultural level because you're not a woke leftist. South Africa is a tribalized society where people dislike each other on a collective basis. There was a veneer of English colonial law and order that wound up being swept away by this tribalism, whether it was by the Dutch descended Afrikaners and Boers, or by the various native African tribes. And eventually, you have this place where politics are not very serious. It's about one group trying to defeat another group, and the government is a leftist administrative state that tries to foster divisions among the people for its own benefit. And that's that. And when I say it'd be more like Brazil, I mean, you'd have a situation where it's more blended, so to speak, than South Africa is. But you would have, as with South Africa, very high rates of violent crime and endemic rates of corruption, and also a very religiously crazed populace, though not necessarily in a Christian sense. It'd be more wokeism. And finally, I said it'd be like Germany, because Germany has a PC police state where people are really stomped upon for saying something which the government does not like. So I think that America will have the traits of all three of these places, and it doesn't have anything to do with one race or another.
So I'll grant you some similarities there. But um,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, just one other stray thought that I've almost never encountered any anti-white hatred from Latinos or Asians. That's something which has stood out for me. So I've certainly encountered it from quite a few blacks, but I've almost never encountered it from Latinos and from Asians. So we've never been. The United States has never been as cohesive and coherent as England. Like the United States has always been more diverse than England, more diverse than Australia, certainly, infinitely more diverse than France or Germany or Japan. So I don't think we'll ever have the social cohesion and social trust of those other nations. So we've always been, a bunch of nations or a bunch of tribes within a state.